Hi, welcome to our ornaments making class. Please bring your own ideas and we'll help you make them happen. We will provide quite a variety of colors and we prefer that you use it out of this small jar, but if you need to take a portion out to share amongst other tables, please keep that portion really, really small because a little goes a really long way. Also, test out the needle nose squirter things before you actually use them on your work because they do tend to sometimes clot and splat. So make sure they're working nicely before you actually use it on your piece. When you are applying your colors, please know that one coating will most likely turn out streaky. Two coatings usually turns out pretty nicely, which means you let it dry in between and then you repaint it a second time. And three coatings tends to be too much. It gets a little crackly. It is actually best to start with your lightest colors first because the darks will show through the lights. The lights tend to not show through the darks. So if you start with a base layer of something light, it usually works out better. You can make mistakes. You can, for instance, if I'm doing this black here and I don't like the way this little heart turned out, I can erase it. I just use a sponge, rinse it out, squeeze it out, wipe away the black. However, you want to be really, really thorough about wiping it away because it can still, if there's anything left of it, it can show through whatever you paint over it next. So take your time, enjoy the process, and have a beverage. Relax, have a nice time of it. When you are done, just make sure the colors dry thoroughly, and we're gonna actually ask you to put clear glaze over the tops of them. Glazing is pretty easy. You just use a little bit wider brush, do nice flowing even coats over the whole thing. The first coating, you'll still sort of see the design through it. You can get the edges, but please try to avoid getting the bottoms. And we can actually clean off the bottoms after we're done glazing as well. So that first coat goes on, let that coating dry, at least enough that it's not shiny, and then do a second coat. So these are pretty much ready for the second coat, and then it's a matter of letting them dry thoroughly and then flipping them over and wiping off the bottoms of them. Please make sure you do a really thorough job of getting the glaze off the bottoms of them. The glaze is glassy and it will fuse to the kiln shelves if there's any of it left on there. The underglazes do not get glassy, so they can be used to write your initials on the bottom. I will try to copy whatever is written on the bottom on the packaging that I use to return them to you. Then we will take them home to get them fired and return them to you in, I believe, 2 weeks. And hopefully you enjoy those results. For cleanup, please do not rinse the underglazes down into the sink. It's not really good for the septic system. Plus, we can reuse them. We just let them dry up, we scrape them back into their containers, add a little water, and they're good as new. Otherwise, it's okay to rinse out brushes and return all materials to where they belong. And thanks so much for joining us. I hope you had a great time.